Phthalo blue, which is Bob Ross's favorite color. That's the cobalt blue, ultramarine, violet. I have two separate violets as well. Phthalo green, primary green, bright yellow, chrome yellow, a yellow orange, an orange, pink, and then red. And if you want, you could add the neutral colors. These are the metallics. Then I have the fluorescent colors, and of course the glitter paint. That new palette, because look at my palette. This is a used, beautiful new palette. I love that look. That's very satisfying. But I am going to start with a new palette because my palette got a little beat up this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and mix a little bit of white into that yellow to make like a canary yellow. Why? Because you're painting over a black canvas. And if you paint yellow over black, it's going to look muted, right? It's going to look yellowish black. So mix a little white into that yellow. Mix a little white into that yellow.
Which yellow?
I use the brightest.
Or the brightest.
I use the brightest yellow. But you don't, either or. Yeah, are you painting? I'm going to start on the upper left of the painting, and I'm just going to paint a quarter of the way around.
Yeah, that yellow.
A small. Now I'm going to move on to the next color. I'm going to wash my brush. And I do end up moving pretty quickly. And I'm going to move on to this yellow-orange. Then I'm going to go from the yellow-orange to the orange. Remember the color wheel?
Oh.
Well, you don't have to do it this way. This is just how I'm starting it. Yellow-orange to the, I'm going to do a little bit of pink. I'm changing the color as I go. From the pink, I'm going to add actually a little bit of white to that pink. This part you could do.
I should have mixed it over here.
Then, I forgot about red. We've got to try a little bit of red here. I'm going to go a little red. Then I'm going to go from red to violet. To blue violet. If your paint is a little dry, you could pour out more paint because I poured that out this morning. And add a little bit of water to your paint. Add a little bit of water to your paint. And then I'm going to go into the blue gonna do the phthalo blue. There we go. So now I have basically all the colors of the color wheel painting the outer ring of the moon. Now what? Well, here's where you get to explore new ideas and possibilities always. And what that means is all that prior knowledge that we did with this project, you guys, remember the chalk drawings?
Yeah.
Where we did the light yellow around the white and the light yellow going into the orange?
You're out.
You could basically do the same thing for your painting, just like we did the chalk drawings. However, my technique is a little bit different. I'm basically painting, wider at the base. Here, I'll paint one out for you. And it's thinner at the top. It almost looks like a the image of fire. That's kind of the image that we're painting. And I'm using like all the colors here of the color wheel. I use green, I use red, I use orange. But I'm going to do that one more time. The base is wider and it's thinner at the top. It's like a tree branch. Do you see how I did that? Another technique of what you can do is just take your brush, a thicker brush. That's why I gave you a thicker brush. Wet your brush first. And let's use, I'm going to use orange. And you can let the brush do the work. So the base of the brush is wider and then it thins out on top. The base of the brush is wider and then it thins out on top. And as I start this first quarter of the painting, I'm only going to work on this section, 1/4 at a time. Then I'll move to the middle section, then I'll move to the bottom half. Just like we did the chalk drawings. Paint 1/4 at a time. Break this up into quarters. It's less overwhelming that way. Okay? Or you can move your paintbrush around. That's the whole thing about art. You can move your paintbrush around, and while I have that yellow-orange in my hand, I'm going to paint one down there. And I'm going to paint one down there. And I'm going to paint one down here. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and work on my painting. If anybody needs help, just holler if you need anything.